Vegas, Cask Strength in Firkin.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Victo Reviews. Today we're taking a look at the Cinco Vegas Cask Strength in Firkin, which is Gordo, 6x60 box press. This is the big one, so we're probably going to be here for a minute. Smells like wet dog. It's not a heavy aroma. Got a little bit of a sweetness to it as well. Everything looking good on this. Nice Maduro shade wrapper. I'm not sure if this is Maduro. I'd have to double check on that. But looks like we got a big triple or possibly quadruple cap on this one here. It's a soft box press. It isn't too razor sharp. It's a real soft feel to it. Seams are real tight. All right, take that big foot band off. Not getting a whole lot off the scent off the foot. All right, I got the perfect cutter, the 80 gauge, big one, just because this large box press here. Should have no problem taking care of this. Might take one more snip off of that. I'm gonna take one more off. Should be perfect. There we go. That looks better. It's dome shaped at the top there. Heavy. A little bit of wind out here today. Deep. Not a whole lot of smoke output. Mild to medium, super short finish. Not a whole lot going on. It's got a woodsy tone to it, almost like a wet wood. It's got that earthiness coming in through the bottom there. A little bit of a natural sweetness. And all those flavors are real deep and real bold, just not intense, if that makes sense. So, let's go on ahead and get into this thing and see if we get any changes off the first light here within the first third. All right, so I realized my microphone on the camera was set to auto gain, or no, manual gain. So that opening clip might be a little quiet. I got it fixed now though. Interesting flavors here. About 15 minutes in, burning slow, about an inch down. After a couple minutes after the first light, I don't know, 5-6 puffs in, a nice, a slightly sweet red wine type flavor started to come in. Then that kind of toned down and got into the sweetness dropped off the red wine. It got darker. It's got a darker flavor to it, to that red wine flavor. Core flavors are still there, and right. And now, a slightly sweet gingerbread has started to introduce itself into the flavor profile now. Quite pleasant. That heavier, damp wood, that died off quite a bit. Finish is still nice and short. The draw is good, smoke output is minimal. I'm still going to call it mild and medium as far as flavor goes, just because I'm not getting a lot of smoke output, which is typical of some of these 60 ring gauges. And all that's left at this point on the finish is a little bit of sweetness. That's it. There was a slight metallic type feeling that came in through the mouth for a couple draws, and then that went away. So we'll keep cruising down to the halfway point, see if we get anything else out of this. All right, about 40 minutes in now, depending on where you look. About 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches down. Burns like this with the big 60 ring gauge. That's to be expected sometimes, no big deal. It's been coming off and on with the past couple draws. Almost like a brown sugar and vanilla, and once in a while a little bit of cinnamon and a hint of nutmeg. Just comes in once in a while on a draw, and then that's it. Still not a whole lot of smoke output. It's approaching more along the medium-bodied line now. The flavors are still bold. That whole little bit of red wine and that darkness to it, that's all completely gone now. Finish has gotten a little bit longer. Flavors are starting to last. And now it's just your general, your deep tobacco flavors. This almost reminds me of a black and mild without the dirty tobacco taste, if that makes sense. It does seem to, it's got a little something in there that makes it nice. I enjoy it. So far, so good. It's very nice. So, give this a quick touch up here. That's it. All right. Let's see if we get to the halfway point before the hour mark. All right. 1 hour, 25 minutes in. About at the halfway point now. I did have to give it a complete relight. Well, almost a complete relight. Wanted to go out. I've had to baby this thing quite a bit to keep it lit. A few touch-ups here and there. Draw is still a little bit snug. All the flavors from before completely either died down or completely gone now. There's a little bit of like a white pepper / cayenne type spice that comes in immediately on the draw. Immediately goes away on the finish. There's still a little bit of a tingle through the retrohale. That's came up a little bit. It's still pretty smooth. It's no big deal to retrohale it. So, the flavors now is almost like a little bit of a burnt graham cracker coming in on the bottom. Very light. A slight cream has came in. It is definitely a solid medium body now. Smoke production has increased. That's pretty much it. Not getting a whole lot out of this. There's still a little bit of that natural sweetness there as well. Just go on ahead and cruise on down to the band point. The band's nice and loose. This is going to come off no problem. We're almost there. We're getting into the final third, probably in the next 15 minutes or so. Check back then. All right, everyone. 1 hour, 45 minutes in. Things are starting to go hot. Flavors are getting washed out. About 1.5 inches, 2 inches remaining. Guess a little bit early to finish it off, but flavors haven't changed. They've just diminished and gone into that classic end of cigar flavor. And I swear it's like the movie The Birds out here with... Okay. They dropped one on top of my lighter and on my table, and probably on top of my head too. But anyways, yeah, this has been the Single Vegas Cask Strength in Gordo. I would not recommend it.